some moves, perhaps with 3 games remaining. Under the lights here at Reynolds Razorback Stadium, college football primetime presented by GoDaddy.com, featuring South Carolina and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas coming in a pretty hot team right now. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, but some people call into question the level of the competition they've defeated during those last 4 wins.
Mark McFadden, Darren McFadden back on kickoff return. The 25, Felix Jones. This is the guy. He's run 2 back already, 90 and 82 yards. He has not had a kick return in 2 weeks because they choose to kick it to number 5.
And this time, Bob, they kick it towards Jones, who's able to field it all the way up at the 19-yard line. Somebody got their hat knocked off. Maybe symbolic of the way that the night's going to go out to the 33-yard line. And hey, folks, Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones introducing the Razorback offense, presented by GoDaddy.com.
Razorbacks have the 3rd best rushing offense in the nation. The reason, Heisman Trophy candidate Darren McFadden. Watch for the wild hog formation in which he will run up and line up as quarterback. Real unique. The key to great rushing is the offensive line. I should know. I played guard for our 1964 championship squad. They'd have made it without me. In each of his 31 career starts, center Jonathan Louise have helped pave the way for 100-yard rushing efforts. Suey Pigs.
Hey, what about him on the offensive line? Jerry Jones, a big ugly up there on the front, figuratively speaking, of course.
And Jimmy Johnson, the other guard. But I know Jimmy Johnson would be the first one to tell you, those great running backs, they make those offensive linemen look pretty good now.
Yeah, sure do, Bob. That was a 2-yard gain, meanwhile, by McFadden on the game's first carry. 2nd down and about 9 to go. Jones in motion. The handoff goes to McFadden over the right side of that offensive line, and he's brought down by Marvin Sapp. And here's the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier, with his Gamecocks defense.
Starting at defensive end, a big play guy, Eric Norwood from Ackworth, Georgia. Casper Brinkley from Thompson, Georgia, is an outside backer. Rodney Paulk, our inside backer from here in Columbia. And in the secondary, Emmanuel Cook, number 21 from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida.
All right, we're looking at a 3rd down and 6. Spurrier talked about that secondary. That's the strength of that South Carolina defense. Casey Dick going to pass, fires, and delivers a strike near midfield, and that's good enough for a 1st down. He found his tight end, Andrew Davey, picking up 11 yards on the play.
Mark, you mentioned 3rd down, not a great down for this Arkansas offense. They are a running football team. And 3rd and 6 for Arkansas, that's like 3rd and 10 for other teams. And that was a big, big conversion right there.
Well, Stacey Dales talked about it in the show opening as to the questioned health of Casey Dick, suffering a mild concussion last week, delivered a strike that time. This is Felix Jones trying to get to the edge, squares those shoulder pads and gets a 1st down at the 35-yard line.
And Mark, Felix Jones averages 8.8 a carry. But on his first carry of the game, he averages 17.5. Is that an unbelievable statistic?
Well, Bob, he's off a little bit. He only got 15 on that first carry.
Man, that is unbelievable, though. The first time he touches it to average 17.5.
There's more than just a one-trick pony there in the backfield for Arkansas tonight. A little end around, Michael Smith on the carry, and Smith with a nice gain, close to the 20, pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Smith, a sophomore, picks up 15. This is what the Razorbacks like to do. They can hit a home run in the running game.
Well, in the key tonight, South Carolina #1 in the Southeastern Conference, 3rd in the nation in rushing. And this is a talented South Carolina defense. But if they have one weak spot, Mark, it is rush defense. So there's no question what the matchup is tonight.
Bob, we get our first look at the Wild Hog offense as McFadden lines up his quarterback. No quarterback can lower his pads and his hat like that. 1st down, Razorbacks. Garner with a nice block up front for McFadden, and McFadden has just gone over 1,000 yards on the season.
He is healthy. Watch the end of this run, though. Watch right there when he drops those pads down and gets about 5 more yards. And this place is electric right now. But this guy right here, for a tall, thin-legged guy, Mark, he can drop those pads and deliver a blow.
Bobby picked up 13 on that gallop. And Emmanuel Cook, number 21 for South Carolina took a blow on the play. 1st and goal for Arkansas. Another wild hog formation. McFadden looking to pass. Gets down to the 5-yard line, and when I said pass, I meant it. He's thrown 4 touchdowns in his career.
And how about all the moving parts in this offense? It's really, when they get into wild hog, it looks like the old wishbone.
Yeah.
Just a lot of moving misdirection. Casey Dick back in at quarterback.
Well, he could still line up as a receiver, though. McFadden, meanwhile, keeping good company, joining Herschel Walker as one of just 2 SEC backs to rush for over 1,000 yards in their first 3 years. Here he is again, McFadden powering forward. Stopped up at the 3-yard line by Marquis Hull. 6'3" junior making the stop. 3rd and goal coming up for the Razorbacks.
And what is frightening, if you're South Carolina defense, this Arkansas team averages over 6 yards a carry, Mark, as a team. That means every time they hand the ball off, they average 6 yards, which is amazing to me.
They've been doing it that way all season, and it's been a good formula for them. Single back formation. 3rd and goal on the fade. Touchdown, Marcus Monk. Monk, one of those 17 seniors playing his last home game here.
Well, Mark, and you're right. And Marcus Monk, who had 1 snap in the first 7 games because of a knee injury, only had 2 catches last week against Florida International, but having this 6'6" receiver back is huge. And how about Casey Dick with 2 big 3rd down completions in that drive, Mark?
Yeah, he looked pretty poised in the pocket on his throws, coming off of a mild concussion last week. Monk with his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. He hasn't caught many passes, but he's made them count. Monk getting his funk on right there as Arkansas, an impressive opening drive, leads 7-0 when we come back. 1st and 10 for the Gamecocks at their own 33-yard line. Blake Mitchell at quarterback. Corey Boyd is the deep back out of the eye. A little play fake and going up top. Caught and ruled complete at the 36-yard line by Kenny McKinley, who got in behind Michael Grant. And what a well-placed ball, Bob.
Mark, that was a great ball, but I want you to watch Michael Grant. He starts to look back for the ball too early right there, and as a result loses a little bit and falls behind Kenny McKinley. But boy, what a great throw right there by Blake Mitchell. No question, Mark, this kid can make all the throws now.
Came off the bench last week for Smelly and was 31 of 45 for 288 yards passing against Tennessee. Almost brought them back to victory. Boyd on the handoff right between the tackles. Got about 4 yards on the play. Mitchell with a quick 3-step drop complete. Brown makes the catch down to the 20-yard line. That's Mo Brown as opposed to Freddie Brown. Picked up 11 on the play, and we take a look at the numbers. South Carolina offensively, and Bob, usually, you know, we're used to seeing prolific passing games from Spurrier, but it's a little more dip and dunk this way, isn't it?
Mark, I don't think you've really seen that prolific offense since he's been back in college football at South Carolina, but they're inconsistent at quarterback. They have no balance at wide receiver because Kenny McKinley has been the only productive guy, and they're a little bit shaky on the offensive line. So, I mean, that's a simple reason why those statistics are not very impressive now.
It's a bad recipe that doesn't add up. This might, though, and it's overthrown. Intended for Lecorn, who was wide open.
Mark, that is very similar to the throw Blake Mitchell missed at Tennessee last week. A simple corner route to Dion Lecorn. He had him wide open right there. Same thing at Tennessee last week. And you can see a little bit of the inconsistency right there. That was an easy throw.
That's what furrows the brow of the old ball coach on the sidelines. He says that we're just not making the type of plays that championship teams make. 2nd and 10. Mitchell to pass again. Same area and same result. Incomplete. This time McKinley couldn't hang on. Got his hands on it too. Got him behind Norton. And it's 3rd and 10 coming up.
And you're just going to get man-to-man coverage right there. And Kenny McKinley had Jarrell Norton beat. Wow, that's 2 plays back-to-back, Mark, that could have been huge plays for South Carolina. So inconsistency is the key word for the South Carolina offense.
Looks like they ran the same exact play twice, Bob. 3rd and 10 coming up. This is the fewest touchdown passes that a Spurrier team has ever had. The record for the season at 21, a dubious number. This pass caught, and it's going to be ruled, well, we'll wait. They both say incomplete, intended for Cook. Couldn't get a foot in bounds. He was working against Love.
Yeah, Mark, he was out of bounds, but watch the pass protection. Great pass protection by South Carolina. But right here, Jared Cook's going to catch it, but watch that left foot is out of bounds. But a positive, great pass protection.
Gave him plenty of time, and Cook couldn't drag that other foot to stay in bounds. It sets up a 4th down and 10 with 6:26 to go here in the first period of play. Steve Spurrier's team coming into this game on a 2-game losing streak, 3-3 in the Eastern Division of the SEC. Ryan Succop in to attempt this field goal.
They may want to call timeout right here. The clock's going to wind down.
They got it off just barely, Bob, and Succop makes it from 37 yards out. He made a clutch one last week with time winding down in regulation, but then missed one in overtime, which would have extended it to a second overtime period. So Ryan Succop atoning there, albeit maybe a little bit too late for the old ball coach.
And you know right now what Steve Spurrier is talking about, missed opportunities. He's shaking that head in frustration, Mark. They had an opportunity for 2 big plays on those back-to-back corner routes.
Well, Bob, emotions swirling across campus in Columbia, South Carolina, as students remembered their classmates who were lost in a fire that swept through a beach house. The community drawing strength from the football team, and it's a synergistic relationship. It goes 2 ways. The football team doing the same, and commemorating the memory of those students as McFadden on the kickoff return, and Stacey Dales has more downstairs.
Yeah, Mark, as a result of this terrible tragedy, the football team, Steve Spurrier, has designed a sticker to wear on their helmets, and actually multiple program teams within the program will be wearing this sticker. It's forever to be. I have one on my own jacket. This sticker is the words come from the alma mater song, the last words of the alma mater song. And Steve Spurrier said he really wanted to tie together the community for this tragedy, and actually linebacker Marvin Sapp served on a campus ministry to help the victims mourn and really come together, like I said. But certainly a terrible tragedy, Mark, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the families.
Good stuff, Stacey. Casey Dick looking to pass, and he finds McFadden. McFadden tackled almost immediately at the 41-yard line, picking up 4 yards on the play. Polk making the stop on McFadden. It was about this time last year that Darren McFadden made a serious run for the Heisman Trophy, eventually ending up in 2nd place, although he did win the Doak Walker Award as the best running back in college football. And Bob, this is the first time in about 4 weeks that he's very healthy. He bruised his ribs in a game we did several weeks ago here against Kentucky.
Yeah, Mark, he wasn't even in the top 10 last year at this time in the Heisman race.
Oh, and he fumbled it. He put it on the ground. That's been a bugaboo of his. It's still loose, and it's picked up by the Razorbacks. Miraculously, Peyton Hillis emerges out of the crowd with the ball. Emmanuel Cook made the hit on McFadden, who fumbled it.
Yeah, Mark, we're going to take a look at it. Emmanuel Cook is going to have a big lick right there. That ball comes out. Now the question is, did South Carolina recover it, and should it be blown dead? It was not. The whistle did not blow. Hillis comes in and picks that ball up. But you have to wonder right there. We're looking at it in slow motion, Mark. But if I'm South Carolina right now, I would want that reviewed.
It looked like a rugby scrum, the way the ball came squirting out of there. Here's Felix Jones going to lose some yards here. Back to the 40-yard line. Good pressure by Eric Norwood up front. Norwood has been one of the more intransigent and stout players, immovable up front there for the defensive line.
Mark, I will say this. This cool weather tonight, there is some energy on this football field. But let's go back and look. You mentioned a bugaboo for McFadden has been protecting the football, but I mean Emmanuel Cook now, that is a lick. And if the whistle never blew, Mark, that's a great job by the Southeastern Conference officiating crew to let that play live.
That would be a good call because the official was there looking for the ball and it had already squirted out.
Well, at some point, if the whistle never blew, then the play continues on. The whistle never blew.
And Arkansas ended up picking up about 25 yards on the play. Right now back at the 40-yard line. Felix Jones in a tailback. Jones on the carry, cutting it back, and Jones on the loose. Jones on the move, turbo time, touchdown.
And Mark, Emmanuel Cook had a great hit on McFadden, but you're going to watch him right here. He is going to miss a tackle. And then Felix Jones shows the explosiveness in the open field.
Jones came into the game averaging 9 yards, a gaudy 9 yards per carry, and that was his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. They should just call him Smiley because he is always cheesing and gave his teammates a reason to smile with that play. Back after this.
Hi, I'm Monta Williams from Money Mutual, your trusted source to over
mistake. Mark, this kid is a first-round draft choice right now. He is an explosive football player and never stops smiling.
Yeah. From the 2-yard line, it's Culliver. And Culliver tripped up nicely and falls short just to the 20. Well, nothing is taken for granted this year in college football. You look at all the top-ranked teams that have gotten high, struggling and then getting knocked off, especially that number 2 hole. Ohio State surviving today against Wisconsin. Here's Blake Mitchell dumping it off complete. And a first down picked up by Mo Brown. Nice catch and run to pick up 12 yards. And Bob, we talked about it during the break. If you're South Carolina and you fall behind, what do you do? But first, Felix Jones.
Yeah, let's take a look at this Felix Jones run again. I mean, this guy would be the featured back anywhere else in the country. I mean, that's Emmanuel Cook. He runs through that. And right there in the open field, this is a great football player right here. And it helps that 1-2 punch of keeping either McFadden or Jones fresh now coming in the game.
Well, Jones says going against McFadden and playing with him every day in practice makes you work harder. Little out and up pattern and had Cook open, and it was underthrown incomplete at the 45-yard line. Jared Cook, the intended receiver, and Michael Grant with good closing speed to knock that away.
And I'll tell you one thing, Mark. South Carolina better find number 96, Malcolm Shepard, the left defensive end, and keep a running back in to try to block him. Watch Malcolm Shepard right here. That is an unbelievable spin move. And Justin Sorensen at 6'7", 325 pounds, out of Vancouver, British Columbia, has his hands full. They didn't grow him like that in British Columbia. I'm talking about Malcolm Shepard.
Well, it's a bigger field, you know. It's tougher up there in Canada. 4 minutes to go. 2nd and 10 here. First quarter. Pass incomplete at the 47-yard line. He was looking for McKinley, working against Love. Now, Bob started to ask you the question, what do you do if you're South Carolina and you start falling behind by a little bit? You don't have that big play explosiveness in your offense.
Well, Mark, I think that's a reality, and I think that's a great point. Now, last week they fell behind 21-0 at halftime against Tennessee. They came back in the second half, but they are a draw, screen, dinkum kind of team because they can't throw the ball down the field because of pass protection. So it gets more and more difficult the farther you fall behind if you're South Carolina.
About Mitchell has missed 5 of his last 6 pass attempts under some heat and almost had it picked off at the 32-yard line into and out of the arms of Marcus Harrison. Harrison probably couldn't believe it hit him right in the hands. He seemed a little bit stunned and startled.
Well, he was stunned and startled because number 96, Malcolm Shepard, Mark, again just beats everybody off the snap count. An amazing story about Malcolm Shepard, can only hear out of one ear. But I promise you that ear that's working, it does a heck of a job because he jumps that ball now.
Gets him to the quarterback, that's for sure. Succop with the punt. A high one which drives all the way down to the 20-yard line. That's Norton on the punt return. It's brought down at the 25-yard line. You talk about great running back tandems, and this one certainly counts as one of them in the nation. Talking about McFadden and Felix Jones averaging 232 yards per game between them. Savage and Hunter, we saw those guys earlier this year at Oklahoma State. Minor and Hart at Michigan. Well, Hart's been nicked up a little bit of late. Edelman and Jarvis at Kent State, and one in action right now, Dennis Dixon and Stewart. Oregon playing against Arizona State. This is Jones. Well, actually, that was Hillis, the fullback.
Let's go back to that point of all the tandems in the country. There's only one of them doing it in the SEC. And these two guys are 1 and 2 in the Southeastern Conference in rushing on the same team. I mean, I have respect for all the conferences around the country, but if you can line up and run the ball in this league, that's worth something now. That gives them a little asterisk on top of that chart.
Well, McFadden put the ball on the ground. A slight blemish on his potential Heisman resume a little bit earlier in the first quarter. On the end around, this is Jones, and Jones has some real estate ahead of him. Felix Jones telling everyone to look at his shoe bottoms. Touchdown, Razorbacks. .72 yards of lightning, Felix Jones.
Mark, and how about the misdirection? Watch Felix Jones right here on the reverse action. A lot of misdirection in the backfield right here. And he gets a block by Hillis right there. The fullback takes him to the ground.
Bob, nobody's going to catch him at that point.
Mark, that was a great block by Hillis now.
Peyton Hillis, a guy that does so many different things offensively for Arkansas, and that underscores the point. There's a very talented offensive line and a bunch of guys blocking in front of Jones and McFadden. As Arkansas pulls ahead 21-3 with 2:52 to go here in the first quarter. They have jumped all over the Gamecocks.
How about that? 2-play drive.
Can you call that a drive?
Wow. But Mark, are they explosive now?
Stacey Dales, you spent a little time with Felix Jones, didn't you, earlier this week?
I did yesterday, Mark. What a pleasure. He does have that big smile all the time. And Bob, you mentioned the NFL and possible first-round draft pick, and I spoke to him about that yesterday. I said, what's the likelihood of you going to the NFL this year? And a lot of people in the country don't even know about this guy. And he said, well, I've definitely thought of it very humbly. I've definitely thought about it, Stacey, but the prognosticators picked me in the first round. There is a good chance that he might go. And guys, head coach Houston Nutt told us yesterday that if he is a first-round potentially draft choice, he probably should go on to the NFL. But wow, Felix Jones, after those 2 runs, those 2 touchdowns, guys, this got to be an NFL first-round draft pick, Mark.
You would think.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, Stacey, this guy has fresh legs. I mean, Darren McFadden comes in with 188 carries. Felix Jones only 98. He's got a bunch of carries in him at the next level. It's helped him that Darren McFadden's been here at Arkansas.
On the kickoff return, the Gamecocks going to try and get some semblance of field position. And Culliver takes it out to the 27-yard line.
21st Century Insurance here with our fastest way yet to prove that you're spending too much money on your car insurance. This car is covered by Progressive, this one by 21st. Both cars have...
...that this Arkansas team has had this year. And this is a team, remember, that last year won the SEC West.
Mark, it is a team also that we were here for the Kentucky game, Arkansas and Kentucky. Arkansas had a big lead similar to this in the first half and then let it slip away.
2nd down and 12 for Blake Mitchell. Looking into the end zone, caught, and it's just shy of the end zone at the, well, 6 inches out, maybe a foot out, as McKinley made the catch working against Norton. He picked up 18, and it's 1st and goal for Steve Spurrier's crew.
Mark, man-to-man coverage, Jarrell Norton on McKinley. Watch this throw right here. Now, he's wide open, but that is a great throw. Would Blake Mitchell drive you crazy? I mean, he can make all the throws, but then every once in a while he disappears on you.
And a touchdown scored as Mitchell that time. Bob kept it himself to score it. And South Carolina with his first touchdown of the game. Blake Mitchell with his second rushing touchdown of the season and the 4th of his career, leaving nothing to chance.
Mark, I think his knee dropped down before he crossed the plane of that goal line. I think they waved that off.
Wow, they called one of the officials signal touchdown.
But I think it was the right call to reverse that, Mark.
Am I seeing things? We did see an official signal touchdown. All right, here we go again. 2nd and goal. On the toss, Davis didn't get in. Got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and goal to go.
Mark, here's what you were talking about on this last play. Right there, his knee is down. And there's your signal. Okay. There is credibility for Mark Jones right there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But I do think it was the right call. Curious that Corey Boyd is not in this football game right now for South Carolina.
He's the hammer guy with some speed. 10th play of the drive. Mitchell keeps it himself, leaving no doubt this time. Keep those hands up, Mr. Official. Hands don't fail you now.
Huge drive for South Carolina, Mark.
Yeah, nice answer. A very methodical drive and a key pass from Mitchell to McKinley to put the ball within striking distance as Mitchell once again with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season and the 4th of his career.
Mark, you can see that corner route by South Carolina is a big factor, big play tonight for them. They've had it 3 times in this game open.
Extra point is good. The margin now cut to 11 points. A year ago against this Arkansas team, Blake Mitchell got his season and his career back on track. Maybe another resurrection story in the making tonight.
Women love men that are groomed to the max, but grooming certain areas can be a problem. Razor blades can cut you, and scissors can poke you. Now, there's microtouch.
You're saying it's become a credibility issue?
Yeah. Well, Steve Spurrier's team offensively getting a little credibility back on that last drive, and Blake Mitchell on the same wavelength and frequency with his receivers, especially McKinley, to set up that touchdown.
And Mark, you
down to the 1.
You see McKinley over there drinking that Gatorade. He's a guy that cramped up, as did several players last week in Knoxville. So keep that guy hydrated now.
Felix Jones has had a huge night already, and Felix Jones has been very elusive. A great kickoff return all the way out near midfield. 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Darren McFadden in the backfield. A play fake. Hillis hangs on to it. Had to reach behind him to make the catch and picked up about 7 on the play. And let's go downstairs to Stacy for a report on Woods.
Yeah, Mark, just an injury update. I just spoke with Arkansas team officials, and basically he has a subluxed left shoulder, which means he tweaked it. It feels unstable. It's somewhat loose, so it's uncertain as to whether or not he will return in this game. But this could be important, guys. He's the starter, and South Carolina definitely heating up offensively.
Yeah, he's one of the 17 seniors playing their final home game here. McFadden tripped up on the play, might have been able to get a few more yards, fell down at around the 35-yard line. Picked up 9 on the play. Boy, when he picks up 9, it almost looks routine. It is.
Well, he does, Mark. And I'll tell you, the guy, 22, Peyton Hillis, gets a block. He comes through right there. He gets a little late block. But Peyton Hillis is a guy that doesn't get as much attention. This guy potentially a first-round draft choice as a fullback. Excellent hands. Great blocker. Actually returned punts earlier in the season.
Here they are in the Wild Hog formation. Casey Dick. And wide open downfield. Oh, it's got 6 on it. Touchdown. Lucas Miller.
Mark, you knew there was another phase to this. Watch Lucas Miller. I believe he's right here. He's going to kind of hide and run downfield. But you get the reverse action to Casey Dick, and he throws the football down the field. Another element right there.
Wow.
That's a great play design, isn't it?
What about that? Quarterback ended up with it after all, after a couple of touches. Extra point good, Arkansas. Hey, you thought that it was all about Steve Spurrier when it comes to trickery.
Yeah, great point. Houston Nutt took that personal, Mark.
And the Pigs really rolling right now. Back after this.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams from Money Mutual, your trusted source to over 60 lenders that can get you up to
Frank Broyles Field in Reynolds Razorback Stadium. 28-10 at the break. Arkansas leading South Carolina. The Razorbacks trying to become bowl eligible with the win. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davie. Stacey Dale's down in the field. And Bob, when you look at the two running backs we talked about at the top of the show, Felix Jones, a great first half. He told us yesterday, you know what, with McFadden's attention and spotlight, I wouldn't want to be like him, but he certainly ran like him in the first half.
I mean, different personalities. But I think this Arkansas football team shocked South Carolina. I just think the speed of McFadden, Felix Jones shocked them early in this game. I mean, 240 yards rushing between the two of them. Arkansas, Mark, with 378 yards in the first half. Really had another opportunity at the end of the first half to maybe go in and score more points. Pulled off a little bit and played conservative. But I think South Carolina took an early punch by this Arkansas team. Let's see if they can recover here in the second half.
Well, they had a good second half last week and coming down from a 21-point deficit against Tennessee. And that's Culver stopped up just beyond the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the running backs and the work they did in the first half. McFadden always good to give the hit instead of take one.
And Mark, you're right. I mean, they're so physical, these two backs, that they wear you down as the game goes on. So really difficult for South Carolina here, because it's not like it's one running back that rushed for 292 yards. It's three running backs that did.
Yeah, Felix Jones with a 75-yard touchdown run and a 40-yard touchdown run for both in the first half. See if Corey Boyd of the Gamecocks can make a little noise from the tailback position. Here he is on the first carry of the third quarter, and Boyd delivering a blow and picking up the first down. Hey, at the break, Stacey Dale spoke with Steve Spurrier about the second half.
Coach Spurrier, what was your most specific message down 18 to your guys?
Well, we just got hammered, and hopefully we can try to hammer them a little bit. We were down more than this last week, so maybe we can come back. We're going to try.
Coach, how do you get a handle on McFadden and Felix Jones?
Well, you try to not get blocked and try to, you know, we've stopped them a few times, but not very much.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Coach Spurrier has a way of saying something, and it automatically kind of makes you read into what he's really trying to say. You know, whether you're a player, whether you're a member of the media.
Mark, he simplifies things. When you ask him how are you going to stop Felix Jones and Darren McFadden, he says, well, we're just going to try to keep from being blocked. But yeah, I mean, this guy is great for college football. I mean, you could just put this camera on him the whole game and watch those facial expressions. It's worth the price of admission.
You know, he's smiling. He just hasn't told his face yet. We go on 2nd and 10 for the Gamecocks. And open, and once again the freshman making the catch. Lecorn got another South Carolina first down. Down to the 45-yard line. He picked up 16 on the play, and this is the same way they came out of the locker room on the first couple of plays last week.
Mark,
that near miss against Tennessee.
They're down 21-0 at the half last week in Knoxville. They had 355 yards in the second half of this football game. Now keep in mind, Arkansas has 376 in the first half of this one to show you how prolific Arkansas has been now.
First down and 10 from the 45. Mitchell with a quick three-step drop. A little bit of contact and no flag thrown on the play. It's incomplete. Michael Grant defending against Lecorn, and there's a look at Mitchell's stats. 31 of 45, all coming in the second half. Add that to the fact that he had a great week, actually game last year against this Arkansas team, coming on once again in relief.
And again, the problem South Carolina will have, Mark, is pass protection if they just throw it every down. So they still have to run the ball, throw some quick screens. A little bit surprised that Kenny McKinley hasn't caught a couple screens tonight. Usually they love the wide receiver quick stuff.
See what they do here on 2nd and 10. They hand it off to Corey Boyd with a nice seam over the right side of that offensive line, and Boyd moving the pile a little bit. coming up just a little bit short of the first down by about a yard at the 36. Corey Boyd picked up about 9 on the play. Talked about him coming from Orange, New Jersey, from the 108 projects in Orange. Saw his role model, his uncle Willie Graves, die in his arms as a youngster, and has really overcome a lot of obstacles to get to where he is right now, just amongst other things 3 hours short of graduating with his degree. A wonderful accomplishment. And here he is on the carry again, cuts it back to get the first down, and he delivered a hit too on that carry. Boyd got 8.
He is so tough. He gets an excellent block up in the hole by the fullback Leonard Stafford, number 39. But he is a tough physical back. And I'll tell you what, he's playing right now for a big payday in the NFL. I mean, he's playing at a different level late in this season. You see the good block up in the hole, and that's a physical back right there.
Corey Boyd had a good week last week in that game against Tennessee, had 160 yards on 20 carries. Mitchell out of the shotgun, has time, into the end zone, a little bit of contact and no call. Incomplete. Defended well, intended for Mo Brown. Red Richardson defending. Matero Richardson, aka Red, to his teammates.
A lot of man-to-man coverage. I mean, if you're going to play corner at Arkansas, you better be able to play man-to-man coverage. You look at Reggie Herring right there, the defensive coordinator.
A little cooler tonight. It must be Reggie doesn't have his usual lather there on the sidelines.
Reggie will heat it up in a second now, Mark. Doesn't matter what the temperature is.
Mitchell and Cook got crossed up, and there's a flag thrown on the play as Freddie Fairchild was holding. Seemed like he had a bit of Cook's jersey on the play.
Yeah, Mark, that's going to be the call right there on number 44, Freddie Fairchild. Tough matchup. Reggie Herring told us yesterday, you remember that conversation about getting a linebacker man-to-man on Jared Cook, who is really a wide receiver.
Yeah. Holding, number 44, defense. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
First penalty of the game against the Razorbacks.
Mark, it's amazing how in that conversation yesterday, Reggie told us in passing situations he wanted to get a defensive back on Jared Cook. That time, though, he got locked up with the linebacker.
And that matchup for the Arkansas defense. First down and 10 for the Gamecocks. Inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. Davis is the deep back dotting the I. And Davis gets the call down to the 15, actually short of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Picked up 2 on the play. Mike Davis missed spring ball after undergoing arthroscopic surgery on his knee, but back in kind.
Watch the fullback, Mark. Leonard Stafford goes in and chops. Watch this chop block. Boom! Right there. That's a great block on number 38, Forte, the linebacker.
Nice hand walk by Davis to pick up a couple of extra yards. Boyd back in the ball game now. Davis getting a breather. 3 receivers out to the top of your screen. Mitchell incomplete at the 15-yard line, into and out of the arms of Kenny McKinley. You won't see that happen often. Jamar Love might have had something to do with it there to break up the pass. It'll be 3rd down and 8 coming up for South Carolina.
You know, Steve Spurrier, Mark, has not had near the success offensively here at South Carolina than he did when he was at Florida.
What do you make of it? Why?
Well, I think the game has changed, quite honestly. You know, Steve Spurrier was way ahead of the curve when he was at Florida with all his no-back, empty, wide receiver reverses. Now everybody in the country is doing that stuff. So a little bit more of a standard style offense for South Carolina in comparison to what some other teams around the country are doing.
It's interesting. I never thought I would hear the word standard and Spurrier in the same sentence, but that's how it's kind of evolved,
Mark,
here
when
in South
you really
Carolina.
look at it, there's not some exotic scheme going on right here. I mean, Steve Spurrier, little bit of a misnomer that he really wants to just throw the ball every down. You know, he had that tag in the NFL, but he really wants to run the football a little bit. He loves the draws. He loves the screens, but it's kind of behind scheme-wise compared to what some other people are doing around the country.
Well, he's got a pretty good resume nonetheless. Won the 1966 Heisman Trophy as a quarterback at Florida, was a first-round pick of the 49ers, later played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, spent 3 years taking Duke to the All-American Bowl in 1989, and then back at his alma mater as head coach. Spurrier won the 1996 national title. Next in the NFL as a head coach, he compiled a 12-20 record with Washington, and then back to the collegiate ranks on the sidelines with South Carolina.
You know, I think the best thing he does, he gets his teams to play with that bit of arrogance, that confidence that he has. That's the biggest thing he brings to the table.
3rd down and 8. Corey Boyd on the handoff, and he's going to come up a little bit short of the first down at about the 13-yard line. 4th and a good 4 to go, and in comes the field goal unit for Spurrier.
Interesting, Mark. We talk about the difference in a Spurrier offense. Would you have ever seen him run that football right there on 3rd and long back in the days when he was at Florida? I don't think so.
Empty formation, 5 receivers.
You've got it, Mark. I mean, that's almost right there. You know, even though it's Corey Boyd carrying it, a bit of a give-up right there.
Ryan Succop is 11 of 15 on the season. This one's going to come from about 30 yards out. He's already made one from 37 tonight. From the right hash, and he knocks it right down Main Street. Well, they do put some points on the board, but the question still begs after the field goal. Can the South Carolina defense slow down D-Mac and Felix Jones? With a name like Jones, you know he can run. Back after this.
Is your computer running slowly? Does it take more than 3 seconds for your email to load? Are you frustrated with error messages, blue screens, computer freezes, and crashes? These are not only annoying, but can cause permanent damage to your computer. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, your computer and your privacy may be at risk, because these are usually the telltale signs of a virus, and it can only get worse until you act. Get a free diagnosis at mycleanpc.com.
My Clean PC is outstanding, and my computer is running faster than ever.
My Clean PC came through with flying colors when no one else could.
My Clean PC totally cleaned up my system and increased my speed.
MyCleanPC.com can remove spyware, viruses, and infected emails, all speeding up your PC's performance. It offers all-in-one protection, and it's been downloaded by millions of users. Even if you have antivirus software, your computer could still be infected. Find out instantly with a free comprehensive diagnosis at mycleanpc.com.
If you're looking at a home security system, or even if you already have one, ADT can give you so much more. Now you can easily arm and disarm your system right from your cell phone, even turn on your lights. You can also count on fast alarm response from our advanced network of monitoring centers, plus great local service, ADT's theft protection guarantee, and a money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied. And you can get all this and more for just over $1 a day. A single ADT system can help protect you from burglary, fire, and high levels of carbon monoxide. When an alarm is received, ADT responds quickly, calling local authorities for help. You can even add new technology, like ADT Pulse Interactive Solutions. Now you can know what's happening in your home by actually seeing it on your cell phone or computer. Even if you already have a security system, it's easy to add ADT monitoring. Get ADT's Essentials Plus system installed for $99.
It's peace of mind that can also save your life.
ADT, always there.
Under the lights here at Frank Broyles Field, Razorback Stadium. Mitchell and Boyd talking things over on the sidelines. That last offensive sequence ending in a field goal coming from 30 yards.
Looks like his stomach's bothering him, doesn't it?
Interesting call there on 3rd down and long.
No question, Mark, to run the draw and then really settle for the
onside kick, Bob.
How about this call?
And South Carolina recovers it. Steve Spurrier rolling the dice, and Emmanuel Cook, the defensive back, recovers it.
How about that call from the old ball coach, though?
Now they're saying maybe that there was a fumble at the end of the recovery, and Arkansas signaling that they got it back. Let's wait and see. Wow. What could have been for the Gamecocks.
Mark, a perfectly designed play to Emmanuel Cook on the outside. They're going to review this, I'm sure.
Emmanuel Cook fielded that thing cleanly.
Fielded it cleanly. Once again, the ball will go 10 yards. So Emmanuel Cook obviously can go ahead and recover it as the first guy. Now, here's the question.
The kick was recovered by the kicking team after the ball went 10 yards.
Mark, it is reviewable.
The ball is dead at the spot of recovery and belongs to the kicking team. First down.
There you go.
Oh, you cannot advance.
And it's going to be South Carolina football at the 45-yard line, so they get a break here, recovering the onside kick. And that was, is that an audible at the line of scrimmage, Bob, or is that design?
Very well could be, Mark. On their alignment, you may go in saying, look, we're going to kick it if they're lined up. We expect them to line up. If not, we kick it off. But how about the old ball coach that we thought was conservative on that third down call?
And they're going up top right away. Incomplete at the 19-yard line. Intended for McKinley. South Carolina's special teams coach, Bob, was standing right there on the sidelines and perhaps made that call the signal.
What you do, it's pretty simple. You call it, and if they line up the way you thought they were going to line up from your film study, you keep it on. Because you know the percentage are you're going to recover. Now, if they line up in something different than you thought, you go ahead and kick the ball deep. But you know Emmanuel Cook, one thing about South Carolina, they will put their best players on special teams now.
With the ball at the 45-yard line, 2nd and 10. New life once again for the Gamecocks. Boyd hung on to it, a juggling act. Corey Boyd stopped it on a dime. Didn't leave the Razorbacks any change and gets a first down at the 32-yard line. Wow. A 23-yard pickup by Corey Boyd, and slow to get up the turf.
Well, Mark, you play man-to-man. Watch Dacus. He's going to have Corey Boyd man-to-man. But what's fun is watch the catch. One-hand catch. Now the move. And another move. 3 big-time backs in this game, Mark Jones. And right here, if you have a trick play, if you're Spurrier, right here's the scenario where he runs one of those gadget plays, Mark.
They give it to Davis, who runs it into the boundary and runs it into a host, a bevy of Arkansas tacklers. One more look at the work of Corey Boyd.
Yeah, and Corey Boyd, Mark, came in with 29 catches, their second leading receiver.
That's a heck of a catch, Bob.
That is great concentration, isn't it? What a third down back in the NFL he could be.
Last week against Tennessee finally ended his 2-week media boycott of silence, letting his game do the talking.
He's not 100% though. There's something bothering Corey Boyd.
Under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Quick 3-step drop complete to Lecorn. And Lecorn pushed out of bounds just short of the 25. They'll have about 4 more yards to go for the first down. He picked up 6 on the play. And this South Carolina offense, Bob, has come out of the locker room, despite what Steve Spurrier said to Stacy on the sidelines. You know, they've come out with a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of stroke here.
He talked about how do you stop McFadden and Felix Jones. Keep them over there on that bench, man.
3rd and 4. Marcus Harrison made contact up front there, number 55 for the Arkansas defense, but was he pulled off?
I think good job by the cadence right there, but South Carolina. But you know, you wonder what those coaches do up there in that office late at night. Why they work all those hours? That was that onside kick as a result of all that film stuff.
Offsides. Number 55, defense, made contact before the snap. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Boy, you talk about film study and what the coaches do late at night in the office, Bob. I'll add agonize and obsess. Man, and you can see it on his face right there.
He's thinking about right now, maybe at the end of the first half, Houston, maybe I should have tried to get some more points.
First down and 10 after the infraction. Mitchell wide open to Cook. And Cook can make it happen. And he does. Touchdown, South Carolina. A lethal wide receiver from the tight end position goes in to score.
Again, man-to-man coverage. The linebacker chasing him across the field. He gets picked. That was a great play call right there on the crossing route. You see Fairchild again, Mark, gets caught up in traffic. And how about the second half Gamecocks, huh?
Unbelievable momentum, changing directions here. As Jared Cook with his second touchdown catch of the season, the third of his career. The extra point good, and it was all set up by the onside kick. Right there. It was recovered by Cook. And then into the end zone, it was the other Cook, Jared Cook, and they are really cooking now down by the stage. Legends and displays over 250 inductees into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame since its formation in 1958. And one of the great names out there as we talk and think about the speed on the field, Tyson Gay, world champion from Arkansas this past year, ran a 9.85 in the 100 meters. It's something that they have a lot of here on campus at Arkansas, whether it's football or track. McFadden with some speed. Out to the 30-yard line, and Nebraska giving up all those points. Those black shirts, Bob, black and blue shirts right now.
It's amazing when you lose confidence on defense.
McFadden with some yards after contact, about 2 that time. Emmanuel Cook made the hit. Cook was the guy that recovered that onside kick, which led to the touchdown. South Carolina scored 10 points in just under 6 minutes to really, Bob, change the complexion of this game.
Well, Mark, there is no question the atmosphere of this game has changed. Look at Emmanuel Cook, though, their leading tackler. He is a great football player, Mark, a young guy out of Florida that really wasn't that highly recruited. Talking about Emmanuel Cook.
McFadden with a gain of about 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Razorbacks, and Cook out of Palm Beach Gardens.
Mark, I'll tell you about this guy. He rushed for 373 yards in a high school football game, but was not recruited by the Florida schools and ended up at South Carolina. I love this kid. He's a contact football player now.
Yeah, the Florida schools all said he was a little too short. Jones got the first down for the Razorbacks. And for more on Boyd, Stacey Dale's down in the field.
Well, Mark, I've been standing down here behind Boyd. We've got a camera on him, and he's clearly in a lot of pain. He's been pointing to his lower right stomach, and I spoke with some team officials. He's very sore there. I guess he took a hit there, guys, but clearly wincing, in a lot of pain. Could be a situation we need to follow. But remember, guys, he's very resilient, going last week, 160 yards, 20 carries. This guy's a fighter.
Certainly is, and it's going to be tough to keep him off the field. Felix Jones got about 7 on that play. Jones has just gone over 1,000 yards rushing this season on that run. So at the beginning of the night, Bob, we talked about McFadden needing just 7 to reach 1,000. Jones does it almost in the first half alone.
Wow. What a night. Really a great tackle by Darian Stewart right there, 32, just to get him on the ground in the open field. But you're right. I mean, the best defense, keep that ball away from these guys.
Great concept. Here's Jones again, this time held, quote unquote, to just 3 yards, but enough to get the first down at the 43-yard line for the Razorbacks. Felix Jones, a kinesiology major, so when you talk about the study of movement and kinesiology, there's a guy that really knows how to move and shake the right way. Has a couple of touchdowns tonight. A junior, as Stacey Dales reported a few moments ago earlier in the first half, perhaps considering the possibility of whether he will declare for the NFL draft.
Mark, I asked him yesterday how much he weighed. He is 205 pounds, so he's not a little guy.
Out of the Wild Hog formation, this is Smith. And Smith gets a rare touch for him. Well, all the talk about McFadden and Jones, there's Smith with 8 yards in a blur and a flag down on the play.
Smith can run now. Had a setback early in the season against Kentucky when Arkansas had a big lead in the first half. Fumbled the ball and Kentucky ran it back.
Yeah, kind of changed the momentum in that game. Kentucky came on to win. Smith out of Tallahassee, Florida. Talk about strength, a guy that squats 515 pounds.
Personal foul, clipping, number 75, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
That's one you don't see very often now.
No.
I think they clipped an offensive lineman from Arkansas late in that play. I saw one of Arkansas's linemen go down. Yeah, I think that might be backwards now. 75, Nate Garner, the offensive tackle from Arkansas. I've never seen clipping called on the defense. That's one I have a hard time understanding. I think Nate's trying to hide right now. Nate's trying to get skinny. Look at Nate.
You can't hide a guy 300 pounds.
He's trying to be inconspicuous right now.
They're hiding him at the 45-yard line. He's in the witness.
Felton's hiding him from the referee.
Offense.
Look.
Felton and Petrus were trying to put him in the witness protection program at the 45, but you know there's about 70,000 other people that figured out where he was, including the guys in the striped shirts.
And you know, when you're a team like Arkansas, any team, but when you're a team that runs the ball so proficiently, that's a huge penalty now. Sets up 1st and 20.
And moves the ball all the way back into their territory at the 48. Single back formation. That's McFadden back there. He gets the call. Darren McFadden weaving between the tackles and a nice burst across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. It is unbelievable the way he accelerates.
Mark, here's my hero. 66 Petrus, the offensive guard now, was a fullback. What's the athleticism of this guy? I know you don't get really excited about that, but
it's not sexy,
almost
but it
300
works.
pounds pulling around there now.
Yeah.
All you want to do is watch that football.
It's not sexy,
you
but
don't
it
want to
works.
watch anything else.
Out of the wild hog formation, McFadden keeps it, and it turns out to be a good decision. First down, Darren McFadden brought down at the 23. A 16-yard gallop by a Heisman Trophy candidate, and that's exactly why.
Mark, how difficult the misdirection fake to Michael Smith. Then it's Darren McFadden. I tell you what, you start talking about just the best players in the country.
Yeah.
And this guy has my vote as maybe the best player in the country.
Bob now closing in on Emmitt Smith, of all people, in terms of all-time rushers in the SEC. Looking to pass it. He's thrown 4 touchdowns. Up for grabs, and there's number 5. Johnson with the catch. There's a flag down on the play.
Well, you know what that's going to be. Celebration for spiking that ball into the Razorback down there. But Robert Johnson just goes up, Mark, and makes a play.
And McFadden put it on the money for him, Bob.
Mark, you knew it was coming. We talked about the most versatile player in the country. He got so excited he took his eyes off the football, throws off his back foot. But how about Robert Johnson, who was the starting quarterback last year in the first game of USC? Goes up and makes a play. That's the Mark Rickroll. Everybody wants to celebrate now after a touchdown.
We're going to talk about that, too. Well, you know what? You can certainly understand the emotion that Johnson let loose with that quick, spontaneous, I'll say, spike of the ball. When you consider what he's been through during his career, a senior here at Arkansas. McFadden, meanwhile, with his 2nd touchdown pass this season, and as I mentioned, the 5th of his career. Do you think that the little fumble was part of the plan?
No, absolutely not.
Robert Johnson with a touchdown catch, his 1st of the season, 9th of his career.
Mark, you can't throw the ball off the Razorback like that.
That's disrespect to the fish,
disrespect.
Huh? Back with more after this. Penalty on the touchdown. The ball placed back at the 15-yard line where Brian Vavra will kick off.
They're having fun, aren't they, Mark Jones?
Wow, 147 yards rushing. And by the way, Felix Jones has 146. Get down to the 12th
position, Mark, after that penalty.
I would call it that, and then some. Into Arkansas territory at the 35-yard line. Chris Culliver with a nice run back. Mike Davis dotting the I at tailback. Play action. Mitchell on the post. McKinley open. Incomplete. And he had him wide open, Bob. Got in on Michael Grant. And much to the dismay of the old ball coach.
Mark, the inconsistency will wear you out. I mean, Blake Mitchell has made so many great throws, but that was a wide open touchdown against man-to-man coverage. But put it away. There's a bunch of ball left to play. Yeah. And you know Blake Mitchell is resilient now. He will bounce back.
He's come back and made a couple of nice throws after 2 near misses for earlier touchdowns. His backup Chris Smelly not starting. He was relieved in the Tennessee game in the second half last week. Mitchell complete, and a first down at the 22-yard line to Jared Cook. Cook scoring a touchdown earlier this quarter. A 12-yard pickup.
And I'll tell you what, Jared Cook, 84, a tight end in a wide receiver's body. I mean, he just ran the linebacker Fairchild over, Mark. And what a catch. You better get a defensive back on Fairchild. But I mean, that's on Jared Cook. But that's a tough matchup. The kid runs 4'5". Right. At 6'5".
235 pounds. Mitchell given plenty of time into the end zone. This time, the catch made. Touchdown Gamecocks. Wow. The freshman Dion Lecorn scores it.
And Dion Lecorn beats Michael Grant, the fastest player on Arkansas's football team. And Mark, that did not take very long, did it?
Yeah, well, after missing McKinley, this time he delivered a strike to Lecorn.
Watch this. Michael Grant, who was a safety early in the season, I mean, just miscommunication. Looked like he thought he had inside help. But wow, the explosiveness of South Carolina all of a sudden.
Well, the defenses, respectively, Bob, seem to have disappeared here so far in the third quarter. That's Lecorn's second touchdown this season, and both offenses really getting revved up here in the second half. Well, South Carolina has scored 2
and
plus.
I know you love the celebration. I mean, you are in the Mark Richt fan club now after what happened in Georgia. But when Robert Johnson spiked that Razorback with that football, Mark, that 15 yards cost.
Now you can look at it that way. I'll say that the 45-yard kickoff return, whether it happened, whether it was kicked off from the 15 or usually where it is at the 30, it was a nice return of 45 yards.
It wasn't just the penalty.
But back to Mark Richt, I got no problem with that. I don't think that you can legislate all the emotion out of the game. It's nice to see the pendulum swing back the other way just a little bit.
I mean, it's more than emotion being legislated when you have 60 players come off the bench to go out there and celebrate. It could have been an outright riot down there in Jacksonville if the Florida players wouldn't have been disciplined.
Good restraint shown by Urban Meyer's group. And Reggie Herring trying to get his defense revved up again. They have been porous here in the second half. And Reggie getting up in their kitchen right now.
And I'll tell you what, this guy will get up in your grill now. There's some coaches, Mark, that think we're against them in practice as coaches, but we're with them and for them in games. And you want everything positive as a coach during the game. Now, you can get on them in practice all you want. Reggie Herring, he's against them in practice, and he's against them in the game now.
Look at this, another onside kick attempt. This time the Razorbacks weren't sleeping on it. It's out of bounds, and it will be Razorback football on South Carolina's side of the field. And Ryan Succop going to get a little some. He will be broke off by his coach right here. Steve Spurrier getting up in his kitchen. And now Spurrier having a little discussion with his coach.
Mark, I think what's happened again, you audible in and out of that kick based on the alignment right there. Fred Chatham, the special teams coach, I don't think Steve wanted to automatic and audible to that onside kick right there. I think that took Steve Spurrier by surprise. Now, if it would have worked, he might have been pleasantly surprised.
And we'd be calling him a genius again.
But Mark, that was not called. That was automatically checked through at the line of scrimmage.
McFadden takes the handoff, got about a yard on the play. Under 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Let's go big picture a little bit. In the SEC, Arkansas is 1-3, 5-3 overall. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. Kind of hot coming in, although a step up in competition tonight for Houston Nutt's team. A win tonight, and they would become bowl eligible. They've got 3 more games after this one tonight. South Carolina, meanwhile, at 3-3 in conference play in the SEC East, still with a chance mathematically to win the division. And McFadden takes the handoff, and a good move, and another one so far untouched. Darren McFadden down to the 10. This is an offense that can detonate in any moment.
Mark, hold on to that Heisman if you're Matt Ryan. But watch Watch this play. You're going to get a block by Hillis up the hole. They're going to fake a little misdirection, and then McFadden's going to lead. Watch the misdirection. Then he follows Hillis up into the hole, and then a little shake and bake right there on 32, Darian Stewart. That is tough to defend, Mark.
Wow.
Heisman alert, Mark.
Oh, it's back on. It was about this time last year that McFadden made himself a prominent member of the Heisman top. And chatter as he gets about 3 on that run. Darren McFadden, we met him earlier, and a great personality, a very lovable kid, a likable kid, doesn't take himself too seriously, dressed up as Fred Flintstone on campus here for Halloween earlier this week.
#1 draft pick, Mark.
Easily.
I mean, come on. Oh, yeah.
Top 10.
Look what Adrian Peterson's doing in the NFL. This is Adrian Peterson's speed, but this kid will drop the pads and deliver a blow. Plus, he can catch.
Under 3 minutes to go. Wild hog formation. Felix Jones, first round.
Oh, man.
You talk about it. Better ask somebody. Felix Jones with the score.
And he get a great block by Nate Garner, number 75, Mark. But how about giving Felix Jones that kind of running start? You have to love the window dressing on this Arkansas offense. I mean, they're lining up and running the football every down, but there's a lot of window dressing, and you don't know where it's coming from now.
Unbelievable varied rushing attack, a diverse rushing attack by the Razorbacks. The 3rd rushing touchdown of the game for Felix Jones, a career high. Took the handoff from Darren McFadden. Bob, these guys look like they're on roller skates.
You don't know
wheels.
where they're coming from. But watch big Garner right here. I mean, my man Felix isn't even in the screen yet, but he's going to come in late. Watch Garner.
They never got a hand on him.
Talk about staying on a block. Remember the point that was made to us yesterday by David Lee, the offensive coordinator? Just hold your blocks. That time Nate Garner held that block, Mark.
Wow. 186 yards on the ground for McFadden, 154 for Jones. Like I said, it appears at times as if Jones and McFadden are on rollers, like they're on wheels. They've been untouched for a lot of their runs tonight.
But you know what? So much credit to David Lee, the offensive coordinator, Mark. This offense is fun to watch now. A lot of moving parts, a lot of window dressing. But I'm going to tell you what now, 5 and 25, are they explosive?
You know, the shame of it from a Houston Nutt prism in perspective is that there's nothing that he can say to keep one of them in school next year.
He gave a little Thompson signal right there. You know what, though? Enjoy the night, man. Win tonight. If you're used to that, you're not even thinking about next year, I promise you.
See if the Gamecocks can answer a little bit here with 2:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. It has been a very prolific period for both offenses.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams from Money Mutual, your trusted source to over 60 lenders that can get you up to $1,000 in your checking account by tomorrow. These are tough times, and if you're facing an unexpected car repair bill, a medical emergency, or you just need extra cash to hold you over until payday, then you need to know about Money Mutual, an easy way to get short-term cash fast. So forget about bounced checks, overdraft charges, and late fees.
Need cash tomorrow? Call 1-800-585-CASH today.
Have you always wanted all the benefits of a bait casting reel without the backlash? Then let me tell you.
McFadden tonight, moving into the number 7 hole ahead of Emmett Smith. 3rd down and coming up for the Arkansas Razorbacks, and a high snap, and the Wild Hog formation goes awry, and that's a safety for South Carolina. Plus, the Razorbacks have to give the ball up. So in one play, the complexion changes. Wow, what a turn of events. He wasn't watching.
Wasn't quite ready. Last week, South Carolina had a missed shotgun snap the first play in overtime against Tennessee, but wow.
McFadden being a little upset. So now it's 42-29, and Arkansas will have to kick it from its own 20.
You know, it really is amazing, Mark, as much shotgun snaps as you see in college football, that there aren't more bad shotgun snaps. I mean, can you imagine snapping that football and having to block?
Hey, Bob, that may have cost South Carolina the game last week against Tennessee when Mitchell in overtime.
Sure, that's what I said. The first play of overtime, yeah. But I'll tell you what, this is an entertaining football game.
The ebb and flow has been incredible. The momentum swings in this game back and forth.
And obviously going to be great field position right here for South Carolina. You know, Captain Munnerlyn, #1, used to be the return man early in the season. They've gone with the freshman Chris Culliver, number 17, but this guy can fly right here.
And there's a look at Munnerlyn, and Vavra kicking on from his own 20-yard line for Arkansas. 13:27 to go. Big picture of South Carolina trying to move over the 500 mark in SEC play. Into this one at 3-3. It's a squib. Squibs all the way down to the 27. DeMarco on the kick return. Out to the 45, as we thought. 13:20 to go. 1st and 10. See how much they give the ball to Corey Boyd on this drive. They elect to pass it, and it's complete. Good decision right near the marker. On the Arkansas side of midfield at the 46-yard line, Jared Cook figuring into the equation. He was working against Freddie Fairchild, Bob, a linebacker, not a DB.
Exactly, Mark. And they've had the linebacker on him all game. But how about Patrick DeMarco on that kickoff return? His uncle, you'll know this name, Chris DeMarco of the PGA Tour.
Well, he didn't shank that last kickoff return. He just kind of kept it between the fairway. And now it's Boyd. There's a reason to give it to Corey Boyd. Got the first down at the 36-yard line. He picked up 11 yards.
Mark, he gets another excellent block by the fullback Leonard Stafford up in the hole. But you see why Corey Boyd wanted that football on the last series on the 3-yard line. I mean, this guy will take a team on his back, kind of like McFadden and Felix Jones do for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, I thought it talked about him being through a lot of his career at South Carolina. He was suspended for the 05 season for violating team rules. Thought about transferring to Rutgers at the time, elected to stay. And right now, just a couple of hours short of graduating. And Mitchell sacked back at the 45-yard line by Freddie Fairchild. 3.5 sacks for him now on the season.
And Mark, that should not have been that difficult. Watch Fairchild right here. He just delays a second and then runs straight ahead, and South Carolina turns them loose. Wow.
It's been one of the real bugaboos for that offensive line. A couple of games ago against Vandy, they gave up 7 sacks and had 5 false starts.
And they've given up 29 sacks now on the season.
2nd and 18. Little bunch formation, jailbreak screen. Pass complete to Kenny McKinley. McKinley's done a great job this year. Can't say it too much about filling the void left by Sidney Rice, who left early for the NFL. And there was a gaping hole in terms of productivity and leadership, and McKinley has filled it nicely this year.
Yeah, Mark, quarterback in high school. He caught 14 balls last week against Tennessee for 151 yards. A lot of those little screens and quick throws last week against the Vols.
Has 5 catches tonight, Bob, for 67 yards. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Gamecocks. Mitchell complete to Cook. They get the J.O.B. done. 10-yard pickup by Jared Cook for the first down.
Mark, great timing route right there. You see Jared Cook, who's really a wide receiver, just hooks up, and a great throw by Blake Mitchell.
Having a flashback perhaps to last year when he came in the second half and rallied South Carolina from a 20-point deficit to within just seconds of winning against Arkansas. 1st and 10 for the Gamecocks. Boyd finding a hole over the right side that time, inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Weston Dacus making the stop, but Corey Boyd picked up 5.
And you know Corey Boyd is motivated by the head-to-head comparison, Mark, with McFadden and Felix Jones, because he's playing for that NFL paycheck as well. what better audition than to see how you match up against this guy right here?
Yeah, he's heard everybody all week talk about McFadden and Felix Jones. 2nd down and 5. Mitchell delivers a strike complete. It's going to be marked right near the 1st down marker inside the 15-yard line. He found McKinley again working against Richardson.
What a crossroads game, though, Mark, as we enter November for these two teams.
Yeah, this is when things really start to count.
Yeah, both of them with 3 Southeastern Conference losses. The winner can go on and have a great season. The loser will not have a great season.
Tough thought for whomever doesn't come out of this game successful. Mitchell got the 1st down on the quarterback sneak.
But amazing how much better South Carolina plays in the 2nd half compared to the 1st half.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row now, Mark, offensively.
A huge turnaround for them as we approach 10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter.
Arkansas is blitzing. Blake Mitchell sees it. Watch the corner route to number 11, Kenny McKinley right here, Mark.
He's at the top of your screen. Mitchell looks the other way, threw it behind his receiver, but it was caught nonetheless by number 82, Freddie Brown.
Yeah, Freddie Brown had a big fumble against Tennessee, but his dad's a high school coach. Good hands. Surprised me that they didn't go up to the wide side of the field against that man-to-man coverage, but they come into the boundary to Freddie Brown.
Picked up 6 on the play. Herring trying to get the signals in for the Arkansas defense. Mitchell audibly.
It's just man-to-man coverage up there, Mark.
Mitchell given time. Lecorn made the catch. Where's his forward progress going to be marked? It's going to be marked short of that 1st down by about a yard.
Mark, that was unbelievable. I mean, Lecorn kind of stopped and slowed down, and then Jarrell Norton takes off and leaves him alone up there. Good patience by Blake Mitchell. Because there wasn't much of a pass rush, he was able to stay in the game and get it out to Lecorn.
They can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown here. 3rd and 1. Mitchell keeps it himself and appears to have gotten the 1st down, so it'll be 1st and goal for South Carolina. All this, remember, set up after the high snap to McFadden on the Wild Hog formation, which caused the safety, and then subsequently Arkansas having to kick the ball off.
Mark, it is amazingly quiet in this stadium.
Are there people here?
Wow, it is unbelievable compared to the 1st half. And I would, well, I'm not going to say. But Corey Boyd, number 3, Mark, get his hands on the football right here.
1st and goal for South Carolina. Let's see what the old ball coach has dialed up. They throw it on the fade. McKinley incomplete. On 1st down, they elect to throw it. And it's 2nd and goal for Mitchell.
I guess if you like to throw the ball, you keep on throwing it. But McKinley, man-to-man coverage. I mean, a bunch of shaking, a bunch of bacon, but he didn't go anywhere. That looked like me on the basketball court, trying all those head fakes and everything.
It was more just like a hair fake. His hair was moving.
Pump fake, everything.
Nobody bought it that time. 2nd and goal.
I think Corey Boyd's going to carry this football, isn't he?
13th play of the drive. We'll see. Lecorn in motion. It's Boyd time. Touchdown time, Gamecocks. And the silence even more deafening now as South Carolina cuts the lead to a tenuous 7 points with the extra point to come. Corey Boyd coming off the field after this drive, a much happier, Bob, than he was last sequence.
Yeah, Mark, and he's playing hurt a little bit, but man, 5th-year senior, been through an awful lot. Story well documented. So much on the line for him individually as he finishes his senior season. Give him the football.
6th rushing touchdown this season for Corey Boyd, and the 17th of his career. You add it all up, and South Carolina now closer within striking range. See Boyd out of Orange, New Jersey. Looking up top for a little help. Back after this.
Rock.
See that? The names of Arkansas's senior class carved into the sidewalks of the campus. A tradition that started in 1876. Senior Walk now stretches over 5 miles and contains the names of more than 120,000 Arkansas graduates, and that's soon to be one of them. Monk, Tillis, Dacus, 3 key cogs in a very good senior class for Arkansas. A senior class that was part of a team last year that went 10-4 and won the SEC West. We talk about some of the elite running backs in the SEC. Boy, what a roll call. Herschel at Georgia. Vincent Jackson, 82-85. And Emmett Smith with those big shoulder pads at Florida, Bob.
And the cutoff midriff jersey that I know you love so well.
Oh, man. Show that six-pack. Sean Alexander of Alabama, and then the guys tonight. Hey, stacking up pretty good against some of those guys, especially McFadden.
And running in this league, in this conference, Mark.
The give is once some more. McFadden.
See ya.
D-Mac.
Hold on, Matt Ryan.
D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
it? Wide open again. Did that take how long?
It was an 80-yard run. I'll guess about 8 seconds.
Wow.
Somebody get him a plane ticket for New York City and the Downtown Athletic Club.
I'll tell you what, they had some angles on him, Mark, and he just flat ran away from everybody. And that's 6'2", 215 pounds running down that football field now.
He's getting his chest all swollen, and why not? He can feel good about himself and his team after that 80-yard burst across the Arkansas plains.
Mark, 8-point lead. Arkansas going to go for 2 right here and make it a 10-point game. But let's look at that highlight again. I want to see big number 5 running down that football field.
A career-high run for Darren McFadden, Bob. 80 yards.
Let's just watch it. Right here, they have some angles on him.
They still haven't touched him at this point. And they won't.
Wow.
Untouched. Getting his flex on, and why not?
And how about the stamina? He's not even breathing hard now. And look at Corey Boyd watching it on the big screen.
He's just saying that ain't right. That is not right.
He said, you mean to tell me that guy is 6'2", 215 pounds and can run like that?
You know, when we were meeting with McFadden yesterday, Bob, we asked him, what is it about South Carolina that gets you all geeked up? Because he's rushed for more yards against them than any other team.
But what about the month of November? I mean, he was not even in the Heisman top 10 a year ago, Mark. And all he did in November was 219 against South Carolina, 182 against LSU, 181 against Tennessee. I mean, those are pretty good teams now you're running for 200 yards against.
I'll tell you one thing. Our director, Kelly Atkinson, is flying back to New York. He might want to talk to McFadden about that direct flight that goes from Northwest Arkansas Airport into New York City. And
well, he's in New York. It's just, does he win it or not? Here he is right here.
Well, if he completes passes, well, he can almost do everything. That one intercepted at the end zone. Could cut him a little bit of slack, though. Pats at his chest, says, that one's on me, my bad. But that took some of the steam out of the Gamecocks. Back with more after this. And 74 yards rushing, Bob.
Look at those eyes, Mark. He is lit up right now. And Matt Ryan, you better hold on up there at BC, man. This Heisman guy here, number 5, is coming after you.
I think he's coming to get some. On the kickoff return. This is Culliver. And Culliver brought down at the 36-yard line. 7:43 to go. McKinley on the catch. Nowhere to go, though. Brought down at the 35-yard line. Stacy has more on McFadden.
Well, Mark and Bob, I spoke with Weston Dacus, who's a linebacker for Arkansas recently, and I asked him, a guy who sees McFadden every day in practice and tackles him, what is it like to tackle Darren McFadden? Why is it so challenging? He said, the big thing is, as soon as he hits the hole so fast that it's almost impossible at times to get your shoulders squared up to the guy. And by the time you realize it, he's passed you and he's beat you. And another reason, guys, why he pulls piles down. Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, he is an incredible athlete, Stacy. That pass incomplete. Up for grabs for a while and ruled incomplete at the 45. In and out of the arms of Jared Cook. 3rd and 9 coming up for South Carolina.
Mark, let me make one last point here. about the runs McFadden has had. How many times tonight, including Felix Jones, have they gone untouched? I mean, he went untouched on an 80-yard run. Felix Jones has gone into the end zone untouched.
Yeah. At this level, in this conference,
you never see that.
Under 7 minutes to go. A defining point of the game here for South Carolina. Mitchell given time and barely got it away before being hit back at the 25. And it's 4th down for the Gamecocks. Dacus lowering the boom on Mitchell. Dacus, one of those 17 seniors for the Razorbacks, playing his final home game here in Fayetteville.
Mark, excellent pressure by Malcolm Shepard. And then Weston Dacus, the linebacker, number 30. Watch him spying on the quarterback. See him sitting right there? And then when Blake Mitchell tries to run, he closes. Steve Spurrier going to go ahead and punt this football right here.
4th and 9 coming up. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davie and Stacey Dales down in the field here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Frank Boyle's Field. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. As the punt is going to be down to inside the 15-yard line at the 14. With 6:42 to go, the Razorbacks looking for their 5th win in the last 6 games. McFadden got lightning in a bottle tonight, and Patton did too. Back after this.
Toss and turn all night. Your back aches and your neck.
74 yards on the ground, a school record.
Yeah.
First down and 10.
Our guy Felix is back in there, though.
Yeah, he's only got 160. Felix Jones brought down short of the 20-yard lines. McFadden in the wild hog formation. Keeps it himself. Saw another 80-yarder coming down the pipe that time, didn't you?
He's like he shot out of a cannon again. On the little quarterback wrap play, you're going to see Michael Smith come in motion. And now they pull the tackle around as the lead blocker.
This is as fast as he has looked in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
I'm going to tell you something. He's healthy for the first time since Alabama, and the cool weather has definitely helped him. Mark, you could not do this on a hot, humid night, what he is doing.
Yeah, when we saw him earlier in the season, it was really sticky and hot here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
And that's 600 yards right now, Mark, for Arkansas on offense.
Hey, look at this. They got a fullback, Bob. Yeah. Peyton Hillis, by the way, an effective one. No disrespect to Hillis, a key part of their success this year. Got about 3 on the play. The clock winding down, approaching 5 minutes to go. I'm Mark Jones along with Bob Davie and Stacey Dales down in the field. Steve Spurrier's team looking to snap out of their 2-game losing streak coming into this one and move above the 500 mark in the SEC's Eastern Division. Coming into the night, they still had hopes of winning the division, albeit they needed a lot of different things to happen, especially with Georgia and Tennessee. McFadden close to the first down, stopped up just shy of it depending on the spot. And keep in mind, for South Carolina, their defensive back, a key cog back there, safety Emmanuel Cook, has not played most of the second half because of a leg injury.
Well, you see Munnerlin, their corner, going off the field right there. A football team that had a lot of cramps last week in Knoxville, talking about South Carolina. You know, Mark, but Houston Nutt. Let's talk about Houston Nutt. He gets a lot of heat for running the football so much. A lot of people say, listen, you're 70% run on first down. You ought to throw it a little more on first down. Are you kidding me? Throw the football when you have this kind of running back situation?
They're not watching the same tape and games that we are, because they've got the same type of big play capability on third down when you hand it off to McFadden or Jones as you do throwing it deep.
Yeah, and you have to love the scheme. I mean, there is a lot of window dressing, a lot of misdirection. I mean, they come at you in a lot of different ways. I think Arkansas is hitting their stride right here going into November now.
This game plus 3 more to go for the Razorbacks. They can still make a lot of good things happen. 500 total rush yards tonight.
Do you realize 500 yards rushing?
They have put on a clinic. Hillis going over the top for the first down, and back to Houston Nutt. great coaching lineage in his background. His father was the basketball coach at Arkansas School of the Deaf, and Houston and his brothers grew up in predominantly black neighborhoods of Little Rock, Arkansas, playing basketball. And Houston telling us yesterday he thought he might play in the NFL or the NBA at some point. Got into coaching and you know, really has a tight-knit family, and he has really survived a lot of personal attacks here in Arkansas. And you look back to just a year ago, hey, they got 10 wins. A lot of teams would be happy to take that. Run it again up to the 45-yard line.
I know the happiest guy in this stadium.
Seeing a fumble down on the field.
But Tyrone Nix, Mark, he's got to be happy, the defensive coordinator from South Carolina, just to see 22 carry the football and not 5 and 25. And I'm not rapping on Peyton Hillis. He's a great player. But, I mean, this is they got shocked tonight. I'm talking about South Carolina. I mean, the speed on this football field with 5 and 25, it's a different gear tonight.
It's not like McFadden and Jones haven't done it to several other defenses throughout the course of their respective careers. Boyd watching from the sidelines. Offense trying to get the ball and back on the field. McFadden, look at those feet, those shoulders. A couple of yards short of the first down, got about 8. Well, he started off as Fred Flintstone earlier in the week. Fred doesn't have that extra gear, though. Threw for a touchdown pass tonight. Well, second of the season, 5th of his career.
This is his Heisman testimonial right here when he goes 80 untouched. And Captain Munnerlyn from South Carolina, Mark, they say he runs a 4.35.
Not on that play. Felix Jones now spelling McFadden, and Jones running hard. And like you said, Bob, during the commercial, there's no real, running out the clock with this running game. They score when they touch it.
Yeah, exactly. The thing you respect so much, though, is like McFadden, how much he has on the line. I mean, let's face it, he's going to be probably the first player drafted next year in the NFL draft, right?
Yeah.
He's out there now playing as hard as he played the first time he carried the ball when he was a freshman. And let's be honest and let's be realistic. I mean, there's a lot at stake for this kid and his family, but there is no letting up with this kid now.
On first down and 10, McFadden again. McFadden brought down after a gain of about 5 this time, Bob. Like you said, there are so many different outside influences as McFadden goes over 3 bills, 300 yards rushing on the night. It would be somewhat, I'm not saying totally, somewhat understandable if deep in the recesses of his mind, he somewhat shut it down and say, you know what, I got a lot on the line. But here he is running with authority and a lot of fury in this game still, even late in this ball game.
No question. No question. It comes back to what kind of kid he is. He's just an unassuming guy that has fun, doesn't take himself too serious.
I'm mad at him for one thing. He still wouldn't give me the keys to that nice candy red ride of his.
That's going to be a throwaway car for him in a little bit when he signs that NFL contract. Trust me.
McFadden brought down. Speaking of that ride.
This has Mark Jones written all over it.
Look at that chrome, Bob Davey. I dream of that. 22-inch rims, 12-inch woofer speakers, all kinds of bass in your face when he turns up that TI music, DVDs to watch replays and Sports Center on the tube there, and decked out.
Let me ask you something. When that thing comes down the main street in Fayetteville, Arkansas, there's nowhere to hide. Is there any other car like that in the entire state of Arkansas?
I don't think
let alone Fayetteville.
I was a little disappointed he didn't have hydraulics in there, lifting the front and top and bottom up and down. But that might be the next addition for D-Mac. Under a minute to go.
I hear a slight Heisman chant here in the stands right now.
I think I pick up on that too.
But how about Arkansas, Mark? They come in here 634 total yards, 525 yards rushing against a proud South Carolina defense. Now, this is a good defensive football team.
And, Bob, you saw the hug, little dap that McFadden gave his head coach, Houston Nutt, with all of the controversy in the wake of that. during the months that preceded the regular season, to speak with the South Carolina players and to hear their collective voices in unity and support of their head coach in light of some of the attacks. Yeah, the Arkansas players fully supporting their coach. Some of the antics that some of the people have pulled here, flying planes and banners overhead, decrying the coach, straight up childish.
It's brutal.
It is.
And Houston Nutt is a great fit as the head coach at Arkansas now. But Darren McFadden came out and said to the student body, he said, if you don't support our coach, you're not supporting us as a team. And across the board, these players, when they come in, great support for Houston Nutt. And you know what? That says a lot to me. Yeah. That says a lot. And I think this guy's a great football coach. I think he's a great fit here at Arkansas.
You can't fool the players. They know, Bob. You've been there.
Did not start by signal. Reset the game clock to 1 minute. The game
and
clock.
How about tonight?
And the play clock.
Frank Broyles is honored here. All those former Arkansas greats, they got to see a show tonight. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say this isn't the best player in Arkansas history, number 5, Darren McFadden. If there's been a better player here at Arkansas,
he's got to be in the top 1.
Wow. Great win for Houston Nutt, though.
As Arkansas now will improve to 6-3 overall in the season and 2-3 in conference play. And winners in 5 of the last 6 games overall. 3 games remaining on the docket. And with this win tonight, Felix Jones, McFadden, and the crew. Oh, don't sleep on D-Mac. Don't nap on him.
Mark. Oh. Yes, Dan, you were jumping off that boat a little bit earlier. I could tell by your voice inflection. I'm still on the boat, but I'm telling you, Darren McFadden is on board now as well.
Yeah, you got to make a little room for number 5. He had it in overdrive tonight. He put a lot of hustle in his muscle tonight. McFadden, Jones. Hey, Casey Dick, not spectacular, but very efficient at the quarterbacking spot. And Steve Spurrier's team had high hopes coming in, but now leave with their 3rd consecutive loss. McFadden certainly right now near the epicenter of the Heisman conversation after a truly stellar performance tonight. He was indomitable. He was unstoppable when he got his hands on the ball. As they improve now to 6-3 overall, 2-3 in conference play on senior night. 16 seniors playing their final game here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and going out on a winning note. As a team, they had 541 rushing yards. Wow.